Hello, Warrior Women. Karen McCoy here of McCoy Fitness and Health, and I want to invite you to another lovely chat session with our beautiful Michele. Michele has been with us for quite some time now, and her story is unique. And she is one of our graduates, and she's still hanging around with us because we wanted her to stay with us and continue going deeper into the work. So I want to introduce Michele and just tell you a little bit about her story. Hello, Michele.
Hello, Karen.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So tell us where you're from, what you do for life, and then we'll get into a chat.
Okay, I am from California, a little town called Soquel near Santa Cruz or San Francisco, if you're trying to figure out where on the map in California. I am a director of nursing at our local hospital, and I have now three departments under me thanks to this program instead of four. So, yeah,
Hmm?
it's me.
Three instead of four. What do you mean by because of this program?
I this program helped me find my voice. It helped me learn to say no and to put what I needed um, equal to everybody else.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay, so one of the let's start at the beginning when you came in because we're going to talk about that because those archetypes and the patterns and the beliefs and all that stuff is the bigger picture, right? And many women don't want to put themselves first, or I shouldn't be spending money on self, or whatever, right? But when you came into the program, what were your goals and what drew you to our Mastery Lifestyle program?
Um, so my goals were the typical weight loss and improving strength, improving my tone, improving my body. Um, I fell into the program by accident. There was something on Facebook or Instagram. It was about Warrior Babe,
Mm.
and I never click on those things. I always go look them up on Google. And so when I put in Warrior Babe, your website came up. And as I went to your website and I started reading things and listening, I knew that was the direction I wanted to go. And I totally shifted.
Interesting. Yeah. So yeah, Warrior Babe is another very different model, like thousands of people, tons of trainers, which certainly is not our focus. We're a lot more intimate in our program, but I thank them for sharing my name. Um, and so you were also a runner, if I
Yes.
recall, right? And running was your thing. And if I recall, there was kind of a resistance to letting go of the running because running was your burn off from all the stuff that you have to do at work because you're carrying a lot of responsibilities and whatnot at work. And you also, I remember you were bent on the weight loss, which most women are, because they always think the weight loss is the issue, right? And so I always say what we know is 95% of women that go into a weight loss program, well, people who go into a weight loss program lose their gains within 6 to 18 months. Why? Because they're not going into the deeper stuff. So tell me how you shifted, because you have lost a good 8 pounds, right?
I'm at 10 now.
10
Yeah.
now. Okay, 10. Great. But the bigger focus was not the weight loss with the program. It was the strength training. It was to change your focus and go into the mindset piece. How did that work for you? And was it uncomfortable at first, or because you kind of led the way on that? It wasn't us saying, no, no, we don't want you to lose weight. You kind of led the way on, well, I had this, but now I want to go over here. So how did that shift happen for you?
Um, in doing the modules and the coaching calls, and realizing that I had things to deal with underneath the surface, and address within me that I control issues were my problem. Um, and really learning to let go of that control, and so that I could be food free and not control my food, to learn why I reacted in the way that I did in certain situations. Um, why I didn't want to put myself first. There was so much to learn about why and how I reacted, and then how to reframe all that before I could really go into the food. Because I was a good eater overall. It wasn't that I didn't eat well, I ate pretty whole, pretty healthy, but there were other things that were holding me back. That as we started, I went, holy cow, I can't work on that. I got to work on this. I got to work on Michele. Where am I in this? How do I find me again?
Right. And so many women say that they've lost themselves. They've lost their body and maybe their health, their shape. But really, it's just a loss of self in this very, very busy life, right? Super, super busy. And you've got a lot going on. And so with you, with your workload at work, understanding that you do have to somewhat control things because you manage a lot of people and a lot of units. But when it comes to this work with a body transformation, more control is not better. It is about, like you say, finding food freedom, which you did pretty well at. There was a few blips, but you're supposed to have blips, right? And I think probably all the women say the bigger module is module 10, which is the archetypes, right?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
where we find, I think, if I recall, when you and I chatted at the very beginning when we did our intake call, people pleaser, fixer, right? All that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Control
That's
mama. Yeah.
mhm.
So
Yes.
where are those archetypes now? Are they in the background and quiet, or how do you continue to nurture that? Because we don't want them to go away. They're pieces of ourselves. But how do you work through that with some of the maybe the tools from the program, or what is your special sauce?
They're definitely there in the background if I am not conscious in my choices and in what's going on around me. If I go unconscious, I will fall back to those that are there, that are me. And they're not bad things, they're good things. They're not good when I allow them to control all the pieces of my life.
Mhm.
I think I am more in flow. I use the pause breath all the time.
Mhm.
That is the biggest stopping, breathing before I respond. Um, and sometimes I'm better at it than others, but
Mhm.
that's okay. That's okay. Mantras were huge for me. I came in not really believing in them. I love them now. They're super helpful. Um, change my perspective in everything. When I find myself struggling with something, I will sit down. Jen taught me how to create mantras, and so I just go in and do it and create one for, okay, I'm struggling with this. I need something new to shift the direction that I'm going in this. The envisioning was hard for me at first.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was really hard. But I can see my North Star. I still struggle with it, like looking into retirement and what is that going to look like? I haven't defined that yet, and that's okay. I'm open to it, being open and curious. I
Yes.
do that. I say that all the time. I've
Yes.
adopted your phrase. Stay open and curious, Michele. It's okay. Just be open.
Yes, yes. The two biggest things that makes this work unbelievably satisfying, but it is uncomfortable at times. It's supposed to be uncomfortable, right? And we talk about that a lot in the program. It's okay to be uncomfortable, um, because that means we're moving into change. It's the uncomfortableness of living in a stagnant world or a body that we don't love that's even more uncomfortable, right?
Right.
Um, and now how important was the coaching? Because we do like to pride ourselves on coaching. We have the weekly check-ins, we have the homework pieces, we give audio feedback or one-on-ones on that. How important was that piece for you?
It kept me focused. It helped reinforce the learning. So you would do the modules, and then we would do the calls, and there was just that constant building and that constant reinforcement. Plus, you have this group, these women that have become my peeps,
Hmm.
and um, and you see that they're going through similar or different, but you can apply what they're going through. It's a safe place to share your heart,
Mhm.
and your highs and your lows. Um, Natalia with the food was great in helping me let go of my no carbs, and find healthy carbs. That was huge. And the healthy protein, just completing that picture.
Mhm.
Um, it was the consistency of having you three women there and patient with us and guiding us, but not telling us what to do, guiding. It all was our choice,
Mhm.
um, but with this gentle forward momentum.
Beautiful. Holding space, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what I've learned with coaching over the years is giving advice is telling, but when we offer up shifting things so that you can discover it on yourself, then you own it, and then you can adopt it to your lifestyle, your preferences. That's, I mean, we have to meet the client where she's at, right? Um, I wanted to ask about your training because I remember when you came on board, yes, you were a runner and you were doing some weight training, but I remember you were low carbing and training and it didn't quite fit what your goals were. So how has the training shifted for you? You've made amazing gains in your work, but share that, please.
Um, I was weight training with low weights, like tens were probably as high as I went. Um, and now my son will walk into the garage and just go, because my gym is in the garage, and will go, "You go, mom. Come on, push up." And he'll
Yeah.
see as I'm getting to the end of mine, he encourages me to do that. Next, you can do one more, but I'm stronger. The running, I don't like doing cardio at all. Matter of fact, I'm having a hard time adding it back in,
Hmm.
because it's boring. And the weight training is such a release for me, has been. It's training at the higher weight. And I'm not doing anything crazy. I can do like, let's see, it's a 45-pound bar. And I think I was up to, when I was bench pressing, I had maybe 15 on either. So 30 total.
That's
Not
not
huge.
bad. That's
It's not,
good.
it's not that, but definitely heavier than I was.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
And I have muscles where I didn't have muscles.
Yes. And so there is that, you know, the other muscle that we're building here. We're building the internal muscles, consistency, um, dedication, but also patience, right?
Oh goodness, yes. Not my best suit.
And but that's good because when you know and the longer you've been at it because you weren't new to training but you just weren't training in the proper way,
Right.
and the longer you've been at it I find that women will come into a place of grace and wisdom where they won't push themselves because you're such a hard worker that you would push yourself, you know, doing more. I need to do more and it's not necessarily doing harder, it's doing differently, right?
Yeah,
And you know, and yeah, cardio, yeah, we're not really,
yeah.
you know, we added in perhaps we can do more with we can metabolic enhancement training, which of course we love and we'll be chatting about that on Wednesday, and the plyometrics and stuff. So that stuff comes in, but the beauty is still in the body isolation, body training work, right? That's where the shape and the tone comes in, and I think you're doing pretty good with your strength. I've looked when we went over your workout card. Yeah, yeah, you're on. So no more pink dumbbells, right?
No, no, they're gone.
No more pink dumbbells. And truly, you know, what we endeavor to do is to teach you about food, of course, but teach you about training, but making sure that when you depart from us, because you're on the alumni, you're a graduate now, you can stay as long as you want because this is about going deeper into the work. And what I love about you is that you're revisiting the modules because the modules are pretty meaty, right? But are you noticing when you revisit the modules that you now have deeper learning? Like you'll look at it and go, "Oh, I remember that from months ago. I'm past that now. We're down deeper." What's that like for you?
Um, it's it makes me proud.
Ah, love
of
that.
where how far I've come. Because there's so many, I'm surprised all the time about what I uncover as I go deeper and what's buried in when I think, reviewing the modules and oh, yeah, I'm not that, but I still have this. And if I really think about it, there's this. Um, so I just keep going deeper within
Mhm.
myself, within what I'm discovering about me, about how I set my life up, how I'm transforming, all of that. I even listened to some of our coaching calls recently just to go back, and I still learned. I took notes upon notes oh, I missed that in our first time. Um,
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah, it's a continuum of learning at
Yeah.
different levels.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And you have been, well, you've leaned in, man. You've done the work. Um, okay, so my final question to wrap all this up is, so here we are, we put Michelle on this transformative journey. You've done amazing in all ways. How has this changed your family, your community work, your work? Has that rippled out into all of those areas?
Well, as I said at the beginning, I was director over 4 different departments at the hospital, and took one on gently voluntold to take it several years ago, and never felt empowered to say no. It was too much. It was taking me away from my love and my passion, and I was able to do that doing it with it was all about my self-worth. I think everything has been about my self-worth, and that I have felt like I needed to give away parts of myself to feel worthy, and that is not the case anymore. I don't
Wow.
have to do that.
Yeah.
I am worthy. I'm here. I'm worthy. I'm deserving. And so I think that's really changed. That's impacted everything.
Huge, huge, huge. Yeah. I mean, how many women think if I do more, I'll be more, right? Or it's like we're hustling for our worthiness all the time. I think, and that's just conditional. I mean, that didn't just happen when you turned a certain age. That goes way back, right? And it's not necessary to find out exactly by who or when or all that stuff, just to know that it's there. That's the conscious living. Beautiful. I love to hear that, Michelle, because you so deserve this and everything else that comes your way. And we are so thankful. You've been a beacon for so many women coming into the program, and you show up for everything. You do the work, and it most certainly shows. And I'm just grateful that you decided to join us. It really has been a blessing for sure. If anybody's sitting on the fence about the mastery program or um, booking a call with me just to chat about what's going on, what would you say to them?
Oh, just do it. Hop off the fence, jump to the other side.
Mhm.
It's worth it. You have to start. I still don't always put myself first, but I put myself equal. I am just as important as my children, as my husband, as my job.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, warrior woman. Love you, love you, love you. And thank you for
Yeah.
everything that you are and everything that you bring, for sure. And we will see you on our call. Thank you all for listening. Love to you all. Take care. Bye bye.